Y'all, so I am sitting down right now. I am preparing to take my NASM certified personal training exam, and I am so nervous. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about how I passed my NASM CPT exam on the first try. So yes, your girl is officially a certified personal trainer, and I just kind of want to talk through my journey, how I came about making this decision, and like best tips that like helped me pass the exam on the first try. So how I started my fitness journey, it was probably a year after I had my daughter. So I had her back in 2018, but I wanted to allow my body to like recover on its own after her birth. And then I didn't get my first gym membership until the following year in 2019. So I started out at like, it's a UFit that was buying me. So that's where I started because it was like cheap and they were having a discount at the time. And so my focus was more so like toning, if that made sense. And a lot of my first year, like first few years, I think it was like the first 2 years or first 3 years at the gym, it was more so kind of figuring out what I like. So I know that when I started back in 2019, I was doing like machine workouts and things like that. So it was machine workouts, a lot of floor core work and things like that. Like I was prioritizing abs, and yeah, more so than like legs. And obviously I think us girls are notorious for going to the gym to get a dumpy instead of like working the entire body. But my priority back then was like, which would make sense. So like my core, my stomach area, I wanted it tight and flat and snatched, small waist, etc. Even though I've been skinny all my life, so I don't know, whatever. So that's how I came about starting at the gym. But it took me years to figure out things that worked for me. And that's what I tell a lot of people, like especially for those that are new to fitness and new to like, to working out and things like that, like it's a process. It's a process. You can get all the recommendations in the book. You can follow IG models, workout routines, split week workouts. You can try all the things in the book, but not everything might work out for you. So the first few years I was at UFIT, yeah, I was just basically like a baby gymnast, like a newbie. Like I was afraid of the weights. I was just doing machine work, core work, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't until the year of 2021-ish, I was active, but I wasn't that active. I think I was most active my first year and the last like year and a half. Years later, when I ended up moving out and getting my own place, the place that I stay at now has a gym. There's a gym in my complex. So I started going there and just utilizing just the weights and stuff. The thing about the gym here is that they don't have that much equipment. So you gotta do what you gotta do. So I had the membership and then I had the gym. And then I canceled that membership to then upgrade and go to like a nicer gym that has more amenities. So I definitely recommend going to a gym. Like if you're starting out, start out at a cheap gym. Start out at like a Planet Fitness or UFit. Figure out what the hell you want first and then upgrade. Like upgrade once you figure out the things you like and the things that you need, like you found a routine that works for you, you know what equipment you want to do, you know what kind of training that you want to do that works for you. Now you can then look into higher quality gyms, if that makes sense, to get what you want, like to make the most out of your experience and to benefit. Like you don't want to go to a gym all the time where it's like you're waiting 10 minutes for the squat rack or the bench press. It's like aggravating as hell. So not everyone can afford certain gyms, which means less people. I mean, it'd be like that. It's less people, it's less crowded, the experience is just better. And usually like the quality of the gym is better as well. So do that once you figure out what's good for you. But if you already have a gym at your complex, you don't need to spend extra money. Figure out what it is that you need and you like. Get a cheap membership if the gym where you stay at is really that limited, and then upgrade. So yeah, back to my story. I then upgraded to a kind of like mid-quality, like went from a low-tier gym to like a mid-tier gym, and it has everything that I need. And so that's when I started playing around with the heavy stuff, with the squat rack. I cannot remember, because I'm so used to like lifting heavy and using the actual like barbell. I know that scares a lot of people. I wouldn't recommend it for newbies. But I can't remember my first time, meaning that it wasn't horrible. I feel like I would remember it if it was significant. Like, oh my gosh, I remember the first time I used the barbell, I almost fell over and knocked somebody out, you know, like, but it wasn't anything like that. I literally can't remember my first time. But once I upgraded, that was like, once I got into that gym and started going, yeah, that was my first time utilizing the rack, utilizing like machines that work out like different parts of the body that my previous gym didn't have. Like you get really shocked by the options that are there. So I started doing that. I figured out a routine that works for me and I stuck to it. And so I was like, damn, like this is something that I really like doing. Like I think I could see myself, I could do this every day nonstop and not get bored. So why not help others realize that they can reach their fitness, physique, body goals, you know? And the thing is that it's not just from what you can see from the naked eye, right? Like there's a lot that goes into fitness, and overall it is life-changing. Like it is life-changing. It's you can't go wrong with the choice, you know? You can't go wrong with trying to overall get a healthier lifestyle for yourself. So, you know, like I think there's just so much benefits that goes mentally and physically from going to the gym. And so within the last year, like I was like, okay, I think I know like this is something that I might want to do, more so within the last few months, right? So, you know, when you get thoughts of ideas like, oh my God, I'm good at this, I should do this. So you start just dabbling and playing around with it, but you don't really go fully in. You don't really jump ship. But yeah, I literally took the opportunity. Like I've been going through a lot of like major life changes. So within the last few months, I just took the opportunity. I was like, Jessica, just go for it. Like, what are you waiting for, you know? So the first thing that I did, right now we're gonna get into how I signed up. Which course did I sign up for? Well, by the title, you guys already know, like it's the NASM that I chose. How I went about choosing that specific one, because there are plenty of options for you to get your certified personal training certificate. But yeah, I went online and I just started. I'm like I compare everything in my life, literally. So I compare a lot of stuff. I compare like even colleges, like the best colleges to go to, I'll compare them neck and neck. So I was just comparing a lot of like online academies, like training academies that provide that exam. And why I chose NASM, I read about it being one of the most challenging exams to pass, and that could go off as a red flag for a lot of people. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 60-something% of the people that take it pass on the first try. So that's something to think about. Versus like other exams, they have a higher pass rate. So if you're one that's like, you don't have the best study skills, or you're not determined and you want an exam that like you just want the certification and you don't care where you get it from. There are other other ones, but this one was widely known in the US where I live at. Obviously it's widely known, it's highly respected, and what it teaches you, I think every academy that has the exam, I don't think they go about the same way. Like the NASM is predominantly like, I think it's anatomy and science based. And if you don't have, like, it's easy if you're already in that kind of field. Like if you went to school and you majored in nursing, if you majored in biology, chem, then it might be a little bit easier for you on that aspect because a lot of things probably might be familiar. I have a business degree. Like science, I don't hate science, but I had like, it's just know that it was unrelated from what I graduated in college with. So yeah, so how I went about studying for the exam is I signed up for the self-study portion. NASM has a lot of options. If you go on their website, usually they always have a deal, right? And it's not cheap. So the NASM is one of the most expensive places you can go for your certified personal training certificate. It's not cheap. So, but they do have the option of you can either pay everything up front or monthly. So that makes it super easy. So with this program, I think it gives you about 6 months from the day that you purchased it, if I'm not mistaken, for you to complete the course and take the exam, right? I completed it in a month and a half, and I'm gonna tell you how. So one, I didn't, with the self-study package that it comes with chapters, then they have chapter quizzes, and then a section quiz. So it's broken down into 6 sections. You'll have anywhere between, some chapters are shorter than others, but it's like 20 something chapters. I can't remember if it was 21 or 26, but it's in between that, 20 something chapters that they break down into 6 sessions. So there's 6 50 question sessions and about 20 something 10 question chapter quizzes. I skimmed through the textbook. I did not read everything word for word. I literally skimmed and I went straight to the practice quizzes. This is what worked best for me. So practice makes perfect. Like I would start off with the 10 question exams. Like I would do it in chronological order. I don't really jump chapters unless if I already had completed it and I'm going back to then like refresh my memory or retake an exam. But what I did was I just kept retaking each test, literally. So I tried to make sure I didn't get lower than a 90 on any of the 10 questions ones, and I aimed for an 80 or 85 and higher on all the 50 question ones. A lot of it I did get 90s in. And then they also have a practice exam. So it mimics the actual exam. So with the actual exam, it's 120 questions where 20 of them are not a part of your grade. They're like kind of test questions. And then 100 of those are counted towards your final score. So you could get a lot wrong. I think that's like about, you need a 75 or higher to pass. So if you have 120, that's like 30 questions you can get wrong. You need a 70 or higher to pass, right? So I just kept, I did that for a month straight. I treated it like school. So from Monday to Friday, I was taking practice exams, practice tests on the questions that I got wrong. I wrote down what the answer was. Like I just wrote down the questions that I got wrong, because writing kind of helps me remember. If you're like that also, then that could help you. And I kept redoing it until it was like engraved in my brain, right? Until I got it right and I was no longer choosing the wrong answer for that question. That is what works for me, because I can't imagine sitting through those long chapters and then that would have taken me, I wouldn't have been able to take the test as shortly as I did if I did it that way. I think the way that I don't know, I just prefer the way that I did it. But I ended up, just doing the practice exams over and over and over again. And then when I did the actual like practice exam that mimicked the final exam, you have, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 hours. You have 2 hours to do it. I literally just need like 50 minutes. Like 50 minutes. And it's great that you do have all that time, but unless you're like a super anxious test taker, or you're the person that needs time to really do like process of elimination, and you're flagging a lot of the questions to save for later, like, then you might need to use all that time. But if you don't know it, by the time you're taking the exam, you're not gonna know it. Like, but I do recommend taking the chapter, the section quizzes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you're getting your goal score, whatever goal you set for yourself. Like, hey, I want to make sure I'm gonna get a 90 or higher consistently. You get what I'm saying? Not just one time, but take it multiple times. Like if you're taking the practice final exam 10 times, you want to make sure that the majority of those times you are getting your goal score. And that was a way of letting me know, like, hey, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to now schedule my exam. So yeah, so I went about, yeah, I scheduled it, and then like up until that day, I was still studying. And with this exam, if you it gives you the option to schedule it in your home, or you can go to like a testing center, but who wants to do that? So I was able to do it like proctored online, and I can even insert a clip like before I took the test and then after. Y'all, so I am sitting down right now. I am preparing to take my NASM certified personal training exam, and I am so nervous. Like, it's supposed to start at 1:30 and right now it's 1:05. You're able to launch the exam the earliest 30 minutes prior to the start time. So fingers crossed, and wish me luck. I passed my test. Yay! And it lets you know your results right away. So it's just either a pass fail. It's not going to tell you what answers you got wrong. It's not going to tell you the percentage of like, if you like, you know that you need a 70, but let's say you barely passed and you got a 70 or 71. Like you don't see all of that. It's just going to say pass or fail. And y'all, I was so scared because after you take the exam, the page is kind of just like loading, right? So it's loading and loading and loading, and I'm just wondering, like, damn, like, did I just flunk this? And it said pass, and I was like, holy crap. So it was super exciting. From a scale of 1 to 10, the difficulty of my exam, I will say it was an 8. A lot of the questions that I got, I'm not gonna say they weren't what I studied, but they weren't about the things that I felt most confident in. Like, I was hoping to get certain kinds of questions, because I was like, okay, if the majority of the exam is this section here or this chapter here, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be straight, I know that I'm gonna pass it. But of course, it was like sections that I was a little bit more doubtful of, but your girl still passed on the first try in a month and a half. Bro, that's crazy. So for those that are looking to get their certification, I mean, I would recommend the NASM self-study package. If you want to pay more for, like, they have different options. Like, if you want to pay more for, like, I don't know if it comes with a tutor or a live tutor. They have different options where, aside from the self-study one, which is obviously you doing it by yourself. So if you best learn a different kind of way, I'm pretty sure there's an option for you that best works for you. Other than that, I'm super excited. So it's like I recently launched my own personal training business per se, and things are just going so well. I'm just looking forward to like all that's about to come, because I'm at a point of my life where I'm pursuing things that I'm passionate about, things that I've always been interested about. I'm just going into, like, right now I'm 25, right? I'm not getting any younger. Why am I gonna waste time and put my hobbies that I'm passionate about aside to do something that's like, you know, I don't hate it, but like, why? You know, like, I think of things like you only have one life, and you do not want to live with a regret like, damn, maybe if I went 100% at this, like, you don't want to be 80 on your deathbed looking back like, damn, I should have taken that opportunity when I had the chance. So I recommend you guys to kind of put that into perspective when you're making decisions, life decisions, and when you're jumping into things, and whatever comes out of it just could be life-changing for you. But this was like a kind of my fitness story slash how I passed my exam. If you guys do have any questions, like personally, that you want to ask me about anything, I do have my email links below that you guys can shoot me any questions. Other than that, just be expected to see more fitness content from me anyway. I know I've gotten a lot of requests about like certain videos, certain things that you guys want to see in regards to fitness. Other than that, thank you guys so very much for watching. If you can, please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.